When you see something every day, it sort of stops existing. If it still functions, no need to worry about it. Trim work lives in a very dangerous category of home projects called "we'll deal with it later," which in our experience means somewhere between 6 years and never.
We did the kitchen, it looks amazing, but unfortunately we never got around to finishing these panels. The devil's in the details, and I don't know, apparently we don't like the devil or something, I don't know. Not super complicated, but just one of those things where you have to be motivated to want to do this, and I don't know why, but like I'm not super motivated in getting this done. Do I put a piece of wood in here on the floor? Do I put a piece of wood here to space it all out, and then you don't see it?
With all the physical work that Ryan does day in and day out, I'm not one for honey-do lists. But honey, we gotta do this. Naturally by we, I mean you. But I'm always here to help.
Maybe I'll go ahead, grab the screwdriver, and pull those out, which will make installing the panel a lot easier. Slow and steady. Not thinking I want to do a lot, but I gotta get to Italy. So, like, what do we need to do to get to Italy?
I have a list, but let's focus on one thing at a time.
Apparently Sambuco wants to weigh in. What do you think? Should we increase this width and put a packer in there? Should I use quarter round, or should I put some flooring in there? What do you think? Well, it's not very clear. She is deaf, so she probably didn't hear the question, so in her defense. I'm gonna go ahead and prep this wood for cutting.
Keep that enthusiasm down, sweetie.
If you don't know this trick, basically put down some painter's tape on it, and that'll keep it from blowing apart when you cut it. Okay, so I got that out of the way. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So I just gotta do one piece at a time. So next, let's cut the height on this piece to be I can go up to 34. It's always best to use the same measuring tape. That way you don't have any differences in size, but I'm not gonna do that.
That would require knowing where the other one is.
This blade is slightly dull from going through shingles. It's also really dirty. I'm just gonna do that and give it a whirl. What's the worst that'll happen?
In case you're wondering why we abandoned the roof season is over at 8 a.m. these days.
One piece cut. Ta-da!
There's that enthusiasm again.
I think I forgot to grab the camera. I had this on there, but I didn't like the way it looked. The countertop only comes over maybe ½ an inch here, and this, of course, is 3/4 of an inch, so it just didn't quite look right. I think what I'm gonna do is plane this back so it's thinner, and then try to reinstall it. This is a butcher block countertop, but this is the total width, and the other side we wanted to look good with the overhang over the drawers, so I optimized for that side and the proper overhang, and this is just the way that it is. The blade only has one way to go, and that's the wrong way. Wish me luck.
You got this.
Wow, that almost sucked. I forgot to adjust the depth of the blade.
Maybe I spoke too soon?
Now, we're gonna pull out the big router here. So these things are called collets, the part that goes in to hold on to the router bit. In this case, this drill, or this router bit, it has a wider shank. And why would I want a wider shank? Well, if you look at the length of this router bit, it's rather long for the cutting edge. And if this was narrow, like a normal bit, it just wouldn't have a lot of rigidity and it'd flex a little bit or it'd shake. This one here is gonna have nice, solid connection. Just get that. I don't know why, maybe you can tell me in the comment section. When you're undoing a chuck, like on a router or something like this, there's like the initial hard part to pull the threads apart, and then it's loose for a while, and then it's hard again, and then it comes out. I don't know why. Curious. And see why having a good quality router is so handy for finish work. See, I was able to route in at perfect little grooves, dead straight, perfect clean line, perfect depth, clean edge. So that's why a router is such a useful tool to have in your arsenal. In a professional environment, you'd have a sled where this would basically run along the sled back and forth, and you'd just be able to go along the sides and it would be dead perfect. But at this point, if I go too much farther, the router is gonna fall into this hole. So I probably need to transition over to the power planer now. Okay, that looks much better now. There's a little bit of ridges from just the blade, but that is more of a uniform depth. There's no gouging, no major gouging, so I'm much happier with that. Anybody else's grandma make fire starters out of this stuff? Put it in one of those cardboard egg cartons, add some wax. Perfect fire starter. Let me go inside and see if this works. So good news, bad news. It looks, it looks okay. It doesn't look bad. It's just barely touching the edge of this countertop. The only other thing I'm noticing is, well, this stuff was leveled pretty well when I did it. There's a little bit of a difference from square on the front of this cabinet face and this countertop. And partially that might be from the leg that I installed. I might need to reduce that a little bit just so that this fits in there better and it snugs down on it. It just looks like there's a little bit more gap than there was before. Yes, Sambuca has decided to come by and make sure that I'm not totally fucking it up. So yeah, she is alive. She's just a little puddle kitty right now. She doesn't look very alive. I did shave this down just a little bit more on the back, so it'd sit a little bit closer in. Most that I can cut out because this is starting to come apart here. So there's actually these little, what look like glue sticks, spacers that allow this center panel to move inside of the frame. And they do that because of expansion and contraction. That's actually a good sign to see these doors are built pretty well. What I'm gonna do is use a glue. So this time I'm using a Gorilla Heavy Duty Construction Adhesive. It supposedly has a fast grab of 30 seconds. Part of the reason for using this is it does have a little bit of gap filling. If the door isn't perfectly touching here, it won't be a problem. Let's just do one in the middle. And this one will hold the panel roughly where I want it. It can still shift a little bit because I'm not really just permanently gluing everything on there. So I think that's a good compromise. We'll see. Okay, put that one there. So I don't want to over tighten these, otherwise we'll end up with a lot of bow in the middle. And I do have some. I'm going to use my 23 gauge pin nailer, and I'm going to nail just in the center here to give it a little more support where I want it to be with mechanical fasteners, and then that glue will hold it in place, no problems. Unfortunately, I just realized I'm out of nails for this, so I need to run quickly before this thing sets. That's pretty good. So I'm going to leave these on overnight. Okay. So this building is a Spanish colonial revival style. It's built in 1926. We're trying to figure out how we're going to finish out all the trim. We're going to have to build it out a little bit. The panel's going to come down, and we're going to have a couple elements here. I'd be interested to see what your thoughts are on how to come from a butcher block walnut countertop to a dark wood kind of cabinet. This is a shaker style cabinet, just for reference. If you have ideas or suggestions on ways to finish out this trim, definitely let us know in the comments. Getting very close to getting it done. Thank you for watching.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.